Okay, so I'm back, and I already did 1, 2, 3, 4 corners. We have 3 chains here and here. And now, so what we're gonna do on the last one, we're gonna go ahead and we anchor here the middle part, which is 3 chains. We do a single crochet here. We did our 3 to go up, and then we're going to slip stitch on the 3rd chain up. So 1, 2, 3. This is the 4th, so don't put it here because this is the space. We're gonna do it on the 3rd one right here. Okay, so we pull the yarn through and through the loop. Now on the space, we're going to also move this yarn to go to the space, because now we're going to start doing our 5th row, which is a little different than this one, and it's what's going to make the granny square grow some more. Okay, so once you get this in the space here, the chain space, we're going to go up with 3 chains. So we're going to do 1, 2, 3, and then in the same space we're going to do a double crochet. No space this time, just regular. So double crochet. Okay, so on the space here we're going to do 2 double crochets, and then to transition to the next space we're going to do a chain after the 2 double crochets. Now we're going to do here 2 double crochets, same thing. So let's do this quickly here. So on every space that you had previously, we're going to do 2 double crochets, chain 1, 2 double crochets, chain 1, again here, 2 double crochets, we have 2 here, chain 1, here on the next space, 2 double crochets, okay, chain 1, here on the next space, 2 double crochets, okay, chain 1. Now, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 clusters of 2 double crochets, chain 1. After we finish the last 2, we do chain 1, and you see this chain 3 here. We're going to do here 3 double crochets. So we do here, we go 1, 2, and 3. Okay, so we have 3 here. On this middle here, so after we do our 3 double crochets, we're going to chain 1. We're gonna do anchor here with a single crochet. It's kind of like make it go down that way. To go up, we do chain 1 after the single crochet, and then on this chain here, chain space here, the 3, we're going to do the same thing that we did here, which is the 3 double crochets. So we do 1, 2, and 3. Okay, we're going to chain 1. Okay, so you see it's taking the shape like kind of circle on the corners. We're going to do the same thing that we did on this corner here. on every space that we had in between the double crochets, we're going to do 2 double crochets, chain 1, 2 double crochet, chain 1, 2 double crochet, chain 1, 2 double crochet, chain 1, 2 double crochets, chain 1, and then on this one's after the cluster, we're going to do the same thing that we did here, the 3 double crochet. Now let's do it together. Let's start with the, and be careful here. Sometimes you may miss this. So once you start doing this, just make sure you do it here, because if you miss the spot, then later you're going to regret it because you're going to have to reopen the whole thing again. So here, let's do 2 double crochets, chain 1, next space, 2 double crochets, okay, chain 1, 2 double crochets, chain 1, 2 double crochets, chain 1, 2 double crochets, okay. And how you make sure you got the correct numbers, because in the cluster here, you remember that you did 6, you gotta have 5 clusters on top. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then after you do that number 5, chain 1, and we're gonna do here our 3 double crochets to do the same thing that we did here. So 3, chain 1, single crochet in the middle, like here. So it's gonna be here, and then chain 1 and 3 double crochet. So it's gonna repeat the same thing on the corners. I'm gonna finish and I'm gonna show you how to attach it together again at the end. I'll be right back. All right, so I'm almost done. I'm doing my last round. So I did the single crochet in the middle here. So if you see, I have the clusters in the corners and everything looks the same. So we're gonna do the last part of this row. So we're gonna do 1 chain after the single crochet. We're gonna do here our 3 double crochets before we close. So we have 1, 2, and 3. All right. Then we always don't forget to make your chain 1. We're going to find our 3rd chain up, 1, 2, 3, and then we're going to attach it right there with a slip stitch. Now remember, this is a group of 2s together. So what we're gonna do next to start our last row is we're gonna slip stitch until you find that chain space. So 1 and 2, and our next chain space, we're going to slip stitch. And now is the easiest part of this. We're gonna do chain 3. So 1, 2, 3, and we're going to attach it here. So we're gonna do kind of like chain 3s and single crochet around of every cluster. So it's gonna look like this one here. You see that it looks like on every cluster we're going to make chain 3 over, okay, because that's going to help us attach the squares if you want to do that later. So currently I'm working on a project which I'm using a different yarn to attach them together, but if you wish to use the same yarn, you can do that too. and I can show you how to do it quickly. Just as an example, once I finish this, usually it's best to do it in the corners, like for example here, which will be the equivalent of the corner, you see, if you keep going down the line. So this one will be, and I'll show you right now as we go. I usually like to do join as you go because it helps you kind of like make things quicker instead of just stitching everything together, which is is more time consuming. So for example, if you wanted to attach this square with this one, since we're gonna do the last row, I will start on this corner here, which will be the equivalent. If you go down, you see the corner, corner, corner. Make sure it's there. You can also count, sorry. So this corner here, if you keep going down, you see it aligns with the corner here. Now, the way to know that you have it right, so you count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this here in the middle. So 1, 2, and then 3. So I always count, make sure that you have all the numbers right. So when we're doing the new one, as I explained before, so we put it here in the middle, we go up with 3, we do single crochet, and then now this one is the corner here. So we're gonna do, usually we would do 1, 2, and 3, and then we'll go to the next space. Now, if you want to attach this to the other square, don't finish the line. You would do this. So you would do 1, chain, or you can do 2, right? And then you find the corner that I showed you earlier. For the methods, join as you go, you're gonna put the hook, and then you're gonna pull this yarn under and make a chain. So it kind of attach it together, you see? So you cannot pull it out. And then once you have it attached, then you go to your next space and you do your single crochet. There we go. So this is there. To our next one, you do 1, find your next chain 3, you go through it, pull the yarn from under, and then you continue to do the chain 1 and 2, and then here you go to the next single crochet. Again, 1, 2, and then find your next chain 3. Go like this. I always go like this. Through it, I leave the yarn under so I can pull it, do the chain again, and it kind of hook it in there so it doesn't come out. And then go to the next one. Okay, let's see how it's looking. So you see, it is attaching it together. And then you will continue to do the same around if you want to do it this way. It looks kind of cute. I like it. And then make sure that when you get to the corner that they match, because if they don't match, it's going to be a little difficult to fix it later. So once you get to your corner, always make sure you find your corner. It will be this one. You're going to finish on this one when you do your chain 3, and then you hook it here, and then after that you just continue to go around, which we're going to continue to go around. So I just did an example here, just so you can see how it looks when you attach them together with the chain 3s. Always make sure you go all the way to the corners, because once you start attaching more squares, if you leave the corners out, there's going to be a whole gap here, and you don't want to do that. Then, you know, because you still don't have anything here, you just continue to do the same thing here. 3 chains, and then you attach it to the next space, chain space, like that. Exactly like this one. So we have here, this is the next one. So we do have 3 single crochet, 3 single crochet, 3 single crochet. We're gonna, on the 3, the one that have 3 double crochets, we're gonna attach it on that last double crochet in the cluster, and that way we can do the middle part 3, so it's not too tight in here. And then when you find your next cluster, you see here, you're going to attach it here with the single crochet, and you will continue to do chain 3, single crochet, and so forth until you finish the row. And I'm going to show you how it looks, the row, once I finish it. I'm going to take this out because I'm going to do this differently. I'm actually doing a project, and I'm going to show you an example of what I'm doing now. Okay, so this is what I'm doing now. Here, so I'm doing the squares, and then I'm using this beautiful yarn, which is like similar to Caron Simply Soft. And then you see the chain 3s, it helps to attach the squares together. I did the same method as Join As You Go. And if you don't know how to do that, there's many videos also on YouTube how to do it. I love that method because it's easy, and then as you be finishing the squares, you'll be attaching them together, so it makes your project goes faster. I did this like in 3 days already, and it wasn't that many hours, so it's just like little by little. Okay, I'm going to show you now how the square looks with the final row. All right, so I am back. I'm going to show you how to do the last row, and that way you know how to do it in case you have any questions. So like I said, we're going to do chain 3, single crochet, chain 3, single crochet on every cluster, chain 3. The exception on this one, because they have 3 double crochets, we're going to hook this in that last one here. This is the middle part, and we need to do also here 3 chains, and we want to make sure we have plenty of space. So we do single crochet here, chain 3, and then on our next cluster on the beginning, we're going to hook it here with a single crochet, and that's going to give us the middle space here. Chain 3, find your next space, single crochet, again, chain 3, find your next space, single crochet, chain 3. Let's put this over here closer. Again, in this space, single crochet, chain 3, space here, we're going to single crochet. So it's we kind of anchor that chain 3 like an arch all the way around. Chain 3, we're going to find our next space, we're going to anchor that single crochet, chain 3. Okay, again here. And remember, once you get to this 3 double crochet, so we're gonna do our chain 3. We're gonna hook it here on the last one, on top of the last one, with a single crochet. Okay, chain 3. And again, here on our next cluster of 3 at the beginning, we're gonna hook it here, and that's what's gonna give us that middle part, chain 3. I'm gonna continue all the way around, and I'll meet you when I get to the corner that we're going to close it out. All right, so we are on our last row, almost finished. I already did the corners here. And then if you see here, this was my first 3 chain up. Now, if you have any difficulties trying to remember, you can actually put here a stitch marker, and that way you don't get it confused. Sometimes it may be a little confusing, but here, so we're gonna finish this. We already did the 3 chains, single crochet on each cluster. So now we're gonna do that middle part. So 1, 2, 3 chains. Remember, we're gonna hook it here on top of this cluster here, that double crochet. Here it may be a little snug because we did some slip stitch earlier, but you can make it through. I was able to pull it up. Single crochet, and then we're gonna chain 3 again. 1, 2, 3. We're gonna find our next space and do a single crochet here, and this one is gonna be our last one. So we're gonna do 1, 2, 3, and we're gonna find here this join here. Insert your hook through it, pull it through, and now we're not gonna do here. You can do it if you want, but I prefer not to, and that way it doesn't look as bulky because we already did go with the chain 3 up. We're gonna slip stitch here so we can close. And here we go. Okay, perfect. Just go around, and before you cut that yarn, make sure all the stitches are right. You're not missing anything. You have all the clusters that you need. Count your arches. Make sure you have one in the middle. So this one here. And then you count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 7 from here to here, and then the middle ones. And then make sure each corner have 7 arches. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then the middle one. So we have the middle ones here. So far we have these 2 right. Let's count this corner. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then the middle one. We got this right here. Let's count the last one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So it looks like we got it good. And then we can go ahead and cut the yarn and slip through, and you're done. I usually like to do a little knot here in this so it doesn't come out. I try to leave it as long as I can, and that way I have enough space to kind of like hide it, and you know, in that way I'm not struggling later trying to pull the yarn. So here you have it. Beautiful granny square. Is very nice. It looks very elegant. I hope you have fun. If you have questions, feel free to make a comment. I'll be more than happy to explain to you if we need to. But so far, it looks pretty easy. If you already know how to do crochet, as long as you know how to do chains, single crochet, slip stitch, and double crochets, you should be able to follow through. Thank you so much. You have a wonderful day.